Okay.
Welcome back to week 2 of the NALCS Summer Split. And before we get to our second match of the day between TSM and CLG, I'd like to welcome Cloud9's Hi to the desk. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing fine. How are you? You guys just won a pretty long match, but looking at your faces after that, you guys might have thought it would have ended sooner.
It was definitely an interesting game, to say the least. Janna stealing Baron, us tower diving a few times and dying for it. It could have gone cleaner, but it was a fun game at the very least.
Did you guys make any adjustments coming in with your game plan after losing to CLG yesterday for your first loss of the split?
Well, against CLG yesterday, we weren't really like caring what they picked because like we weren't considering it. So like yesterday, for example, we picked Kennen first instead of Jace, but no one on their team plays Kennen, so we wasted our first pick for nothing. And then if we took the Jace instead, they wouldn't have been able to do what they did. So this time around against Vulcan, we thought more into pickings and banning. So like we figured out what they're gonna do, and we actually put more effort in towards it. Like we went into the CLG game kind of like relax a bit, thinking it'd be like easier than it was, but then like that came back and bit us in the butt. So we just put more preparation into it this time.
So your level 1 obviously changing from yesterday's when you went up against CLG. You guys kind of went towards the red. You went super heavy on just warding the entire jungle. What did you guys hope to get out of that other than just the vision on Nick Smithy?
With patch 3.8, basically all level 1s are is now either buff control or you fight. So we want to do either one or the other. So when we went to blue, we're checking if they're there. If they're not there, we're going to go to red. So we wanted to know where they were, and so that way we can either fight them or they can't like jump on us like CLG did. So against like CLG, we only had one buff warded. We didn't have our blue, our red, or their blue, so we had no idea where they were. So this time around, we changed that so that we aren't totally into the dark and we can't have that happen to us again.
And that game, you guys kind of, I feel like you won it twice because you had the 2 inhibitors down when you were going to the next Baron, and the Janna tornado came out of nowhere. What was your team communication like when that happened?
Meteos was just like crap, and then we're just like, all right, it's fine, it happens. Smite is a dumb mechanic, or at least we think it is. So like we just like sit back and told them, let's just farm for 3 minutes, and then after that, we're gonna try and fight again or do Baron, one or the other. So we just told everyone to calm down for the most part.
So after you guys, usually seems like you guys lose 1 or 2 people in a fight. If the team is backing, you guys kind of turn on a switch and you feel like you have to either take a turret or get a position on something. Does that come from the sort of Korean style you're trying to tweak into your own?
I guess. I feel like what we do is similar to them, but it's not solely identical to them. Like, we just try and always do at least 1 or 2 things on the map at a time. So, like, if I'm pushing bot, they're going to try and push me in the top. So in case I do die bottom, they can try and, like, pressure somewhere else and get something from that. So we're always trying to make trades. We'll lose one thing and we'll take something else. So we're always trying to make the better trades for ourselves.
Okay.
And how difficult do you think it's going to be to fully adapt to kind of the new jungle spawn timers, or is it a minor thing?
It took us a bit of a time just because of the level 1s. We used to be really good at them, but now we're getting worse and worse progressively because they're changing so much. So I think most teams will probably figure out how to do level 1s correctly within a week or so, and some teams will pick it up earlier than other teams.
And as for the rest of the game, since the jungle spawns are earlier, the buffs are worth more for the rest of the game. Do you think that will have an impact, or is it still going to keep the same Cloud9 style?
I didn't know buffs gave you more gold. I had no idea.
Oh, sorry. I meant more experience.
Oh, experience?
Because it's more experience at level 1, and then it scales throughout, so junglers can get a little stronger.
I didn't know that either.
Awesome.
I just knew the timer changed, and that's all I knew.
Got it.
110% about his own spot.
Well, even I got
good
the
at
words
mid.
wrong.
No,
Things are confusing.
So with these games, obviously you guys still doing well, 6-1. What was the loss like for Cloud9? What were the words throughout the team? And, you know, was it a setback, or you guys kind of like, it's going to happen through the season?
Well, when we went into the LCS, we already knew, like, we came into it thinking we were going to do well, and we did do well, so that made us feel better. So we kind of, after we went 5-0 in Super Week, we kind of felt complacent with that, and our practice this week was just, like, pretty terrible, because, like, we were just happy with the 5-0, and we weren't looking to improve that much. So, like, going into the game against them, we're ill-prepared, and, like, we kind of deserved the loss. Like, we went into it, we're like, oh, we deserve that for like how we've been practicing. So once we took that loss, we just kind of like sat down together, talked it out. I was like, hey, we need to start practicing more. We need to do it better. We need to this is our job. We need to put full effort into it and everything. So like once we took the loss from CLG, we were just like, okay, we can't like mess around anymore. We just have to put more effort into it. And that's what we're going to be doing from now on.
And with that practice that you just talked about, how do you actually practice a little bit better once you recognize you've been slacking a bit?
Well, that's because we're doing different things during practice. Like during picking, like when we're doing scrims or picking champions, half of us are like webcamming or like playing OSU or something. So it's like we're totally not trying to improve. We're just doing it for fun. So that's like a major thing for us. But yeah, we just have to put more. We should focus on it.
Got it.
All right. So final question here. We're going to pick your brain a little bit high. The next matchup is one we haven't seen for a while. Team Solo Mid versus Counter Logic Gaming. Kind of a who and a little bit of a why.
Well, I'm gonna vote for TSM because they're like my one of my favorite teams here because of Wild Turtle, our ex-teammate. He's a good guy. I love that guy, and Reginald, and everyone else on their team is really cool as well. And everyone says we scrim versus them a lot when we actually don't. Like previous to Super Week, we play them 3 games and that's it. So like while we don't play them that much, we have played them, and they felt like them and Dignitas felt like the strongest teams to us. And we haven't played CLG, but we did yesterday. So I'm going to give my bet to TSM, but I think CLG can pull it out if they can get to their end game and do what they did to us.
All right, Hi, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Congrats on the win, and thank you for your time. All right, everyone, coming up into their match against Team Solo Mid, Chauster and CLG think they're facing a